just a bloke in a bar.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to a very special Origin preview. Make sure to go to your local, grab a case of Bloke in a bar, or grab a Bloke hat from bloke.shop. Join the Bloke Club. The unofficial official beer of footy. Honestly, we love footy as much as you love footy. I don't think there's many other beer companies that love footy as much as we do. I have two dogs next to me. One was such a coward. He couldn't even wear, honestly, you guys are mates. But is he he doesn't have the balls to wear New South Wales kit to a preview show.
Don't let him break us.
Look, I'll let him handle the questions. I don't see it as a problem. I tell you why, Dan. I've known him for a long time.
So you're used to this cowardice?
No, over 10 years. He bleeds blue.
Yeah, I do.
You know what I mean? And not in that stupid star song sense, in the real, true, honourable sense.
Exactly.
In the sense that fucking matters.
Okay.
Like...
Literal blue blood.
Literal blue blood. The bloke that, you come back after... New South Wales wins an Origin, I think it was 2012, and we sit down together, and I think it was when Soward put Minicello over, if you recall, and we watched it probably 3 or 4 times until the sun came up.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you see a man love Origin that much, love the Blues that much, prepare to fucking watch Soward put Minicello over 4 or 5 times in a row until the sun comes up, you know he bleeds blue.
Okay. So... let's say,
so I'll start there because I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to divide us, and I'm not having it.
No. Oh, okay, let's just say you're a coach. We're going into a game.
Yep.
Is this the best preparation for a game right now? Is this the perfect scenario for you where it's an Origin preview show and you're not even wearing Origin kit?
It is because we're focused on the game. We're not focused on.
So he's not focused on the game then?
No, he's as well. I'm saying all we're worried about is the game. We're not worried about how am I dressed? How am I looking? It's like, no, this is about Origin. It's about the game. It's about the boys. It's about the state. And that's all that matters. Now, could I have worn a Blues jersey? Yes. Do I currently own one? No. Do I have a Gary Jack original that I may have split because Daddy's put on a couple of kilos over the last couple of years? Split down the side whilst wrestling a Queenslander.
And winning.
Into a garden bed.
Debatable. Do you have any footage of that win?
Well, listen, I don't, but I did tackle him into the garden and the jersey split. I always had plans of getting it sewn back together, but it just
What's
never
with you
happened.
and fighting people on the piss?
Well, it was Origin.
What
do you mean, mate? It was Origin. Of course that's what you do.
So is that also what you do at UFC fights when you're watching in a pub and you fight a guy with
had
earrings?
spacer earrings and he threatened me.
And in fairness to you, it was the Queenslander that started it.
Queenslander started it, and he was a friend.
Of course he did.
Mate versus mate, state versus state.
So you towed your mate up?
Yeah, we're still friends.
Still friends.
Also, in the war of jerseys, Denan, if I may, you're wearing a Mad Dog, I think it's your own merch, Cameron Munster jersey. I'm wearing a Joey Johns Game 2 Wizard New South Wales Blues jersey. So,
are you serious? This is Cameron Munster's. You can actually buy this from cammunster.com. Make sure to grab some. They've also got Josh Addo-Carr's, opposite version of it, New South Wales. This is Cam Munster's own merch that I got.
Yeah.
He bent you over, spread your cheeks last year after a bender, and towed you up.
Yeah.
But what is better, this or that? Let's be honest. In the fair income department, what's better?
This is recent. That's how long? 15 years ago?
It's an antique.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's how long you had that kind of glory.
That thing's worth like.
So you don't? You're telling me you don't respect immortals just because they're fucking old?
Said nothing about respect. I'm talking about current.
This is bullshit.
Current dominance. This is current dominance.
Well, you don't respect people that done stuff in the past.
No.
Okay,
See,
all right.
It's typical.
Okay, Joey, Denan doesn't respect you.
Are you serious?
Denan doesn't respect you.
Holy shit! Clip that up. Denan Kemp doesn't respect Joey Johns. Doesn't rate him.
Look, it's because it's called deflection. It's a weak tactic.
Joey overrated. Denan Kemp, Fox Sports.
This is weak. See, we stay strong. We stay on point. We stay about what it's actually about. And this is a current player that towed you up last year. This is his merch.
I got nothing wrong with it. It does look more like a lawn bowls top, though.
Yeah.
I thought you were coming in from a lawn bowls or a fishing expedition.
It does. It looks like you've been,
deep sea fishing.
That's how relaxed I am.
Trying to wrangle marlin, but coming home having caught nothing.
He haven't caught a fish.
No, that's how relaxed I am. Relaxing time with the boys. Yeah. Then we come in, we cruise to Origin.
You're the sort of bloke that to go deep sea fishing and be seasick the whole time.
Oh, please. Honestly.
And blow $1,000.
Never been seasick in my whole life. Matter of fact, you could put a Gravitron.
Bullshit.
You could put the Gravitron on a ship, still wouldn't be seasick.
Apparently you get seasick on ferries.
As I said,
Gravitron, the harbour.
You could put the giant drop on a ship, still wouldn't get seasick.
Don't believe you.
No, I mean,
if there's anyone that gets seasick, it's a bloke that's too scared to wear an Origin jersey.
Not too scared. too thick.
And also,
Now you're body shaming.
Yeah. I'm
Now you're
sorry.
body shaming.
What the fuck's going on here?
and you're wearing a neutral colour of green.
No, I've got blue here, baby.
No, but you're
and
covering
blue
it.
jeans.
Yeah, a neutral colour though of the
Look,
green.
that's just to keep warm. That's, I want to stay. I want to
it-
make
are
sure
you
that I'm
scared
in
of the cold?
peak physical condition coming into Origin tomorrow night. Obviously, the live show sold out.
Oh yeah,
So I
actually.
just want to make sure that I'm nice.
but people
and warm.
can still like come to the bar, like come to it.
Well, you won't. You can go to the
You
bar.
can come
What-
downstairs
Yeah,
and
we won't
like
be
try
there.
and look up through the ceiling.
Okay, but like more the merrier. Like you know what I mean?
No, literally, no one else can get in. It's done.
No,
It's
but like
full.
it would be better for you if people rocked up to maybe
Yeah.
meet you after
Yeah, yeah,
or before.
Fuck yeah, yeah.
You
no.
are the worst
promoter
businessman
ever in the world.
in the history of mankind. You are telling people not to come.
Oi, don't come. Don't come. In fact, if you want a refund, call us after the show and we'll give you your money back.
Don't meet them. Don't do anything.
I've got to say as well, I forgot to say it last week because I am the worst promoter on planet Earth, but a special thank you to you for obviously supplying the blokes.
Yes, there will be plenty of blokes there to drink. I may.
It's a bloke event.
I may come down so you can meet me maybe if you
Yeah,
want.
yeah.
I'm not
Don't
sure about
come.
them. Are you guys coming and then just bailing so you can't
Yeah,
speak to anyone?
No, basically we're not actually even going.
You're actually live feed in.
Yeah, we're gonna Zoom call in.
Yeah, we're
and
going to Zoom. Matt's going to set it up for us. Aren't you, Matt?
Yeah.
It's just a big screen.
yeah. We might have been pre-recorded.
G'day, dribblers. Oi, those beers up for either. Have a good night.
It's a disaster. It's an absolute disaster.
Yeah.
Well, no, that's awesome. Sold out. Sold out in like what, 48 hours?
27. I'm gonna say it wasn't. Yeah, it was
Who's
a day.
counting? Who's
Mate,
counting?
It was a day.
Top of the heap and top 5 sports podcasts in the country. Last Hello Sport Boys.
Yep. Thank you very much. You were number 1. Let's circle jerk here. Number 1, number 5. I don't want to say we're coming for number 1 because that would be disrespectful. But in a New South Wales, Queensland sense,
But we are
You were
though,
the
coming for number
New
one.
South
coming
Wales.
for number 1.
Well, actually, you
It's
were.
disrespectful to lie.
That's true.
That is true.
We got to be honest.
But
That's-
also, as a New South Wales podcast, you were number 1. When you think about it, number 1 New South Wales Rugby League podcast.
that's true.
You could say that.
You
That's a
definitely
good
could say
omen.
that. That's a great omen for New South
but,
Wales.
a great omen.
but the Queensland podcast was above you, so that's actually a bad omen.
Yeah, but I mean,
Nah,
you're more about everything.
but-
You're the game. You're rugby league in general.
But we're number 1 New South Wales podcast. Daly Cherry Evans, captain for Queensland, snapped recently wearing a punters and dribblers hat, which is
Oh, was
ours.
he?
yeah,
That's a great omen.
that's a great omen
For us.
Well, no, for us.
No, but like if punting and dribbling helps you, then wouldn't that be a great omen for us?
Yeah,
No,
but
as
it's,
in
it's
he-
our hat.
No, it's like Daly looks at the number 1 New South Wales sports podcast in the country and goes, "Holy shit, I want a bit of that."
Yeah.
That's actually way more attractive than fucking this Queensland crap.
Yeah, he's not
Hey.
wearing a Maroons hat.
No,
I
he's
tell you
not.
what,
he's not wearing a bloke hat.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, DCE not wearing any bloke kit.
None.
That's a massive win.
And
actually.
it was
That's-
given to
that's
him
a
by
lemon.
another Queenslander. They're self-sabotaging. You guys are fucked.
But our main man Munster loves a bit of bloke.
Yeah, he does love bloke.
He loves blokes.
Well, it's 2-1.
He's a big bloke guy.
So that's awesome. I think it's great. Obviously, the community getting behind both podcasts. What's really cool is that Bloke and Bar has something to do with the top 4 of 5 podcasts.
Saw that.
So thank you so much, guys. Really do appreciate for all the support. But let's get into the footy chat Origin preview. Both game 1 and 2 have been sold out officially.
As in like the rugby league NRL sold out basically, like by just giving it to the highest bidder. Is that what you mean? Like Origin just sold the fuck out. Is that what you're saying?
No.
Oh, okay,
But
sorry.
I mean, when you're talking about corporate dollar and selling out, you would know the signs.
Oh,
As a
absolutely.
New South Wales
Well,
fan.
we get fisted by the corporate dollar on the regular.
We'll bend over for the corporate dollar personally,
Yes.
Denan. But
Not as a state.
as a state, we don't. As a state, we're not going out there trying to fucking buy Origin wins.
You know what we did?
It's
here,
not
though?
good for you.
I
It's
mean,
not a
you
good
did
sign.
make a bid though. You just made a bid, you lost, and we win. It's a good omen for us.
We-
won the bidding. We win the
yeah,
series.
because you bid 8 million. What are you going to get back on that? 2 million?
Cash.
Yeah, there's no.
Just shitting 6 million down the gurgler.
Mate, the glory. That's what we're getting back.
Exactly. You're buying it. You're trying to buy glory.
You tried to, didn't have the cash.
No. We looked at
Dire
it from
straits.
a pure, from an economic perspective, and we said, what's great for the region? Let's argue that it's Newcastle. If we put in X amount of money, how much is it going to generate for the people of Newcastle? We're not just going to fuck off taxpayer money in the hope that we get glory back. Not a good omen. The rugby league gods, sorry, don't agree with that.
Freudian slip.
Okay, well,
They hate it.
well, unfortunately, it's a sign of how much we as the public, we're okay in losing money if we win footy. That's how much Queensland loves footy. We will sacrifice to win, yous won't.
Have you seen how unprepared the region has been?
What, Townsville?
Yeah.
Are you serious? There's literally signs of when you walk in.
If you didn't buy Origin 1, then I don't know what the fuck's going on.
They're not ready at all.
Mate, they are.
People are intense, Denan.
That's how much they love it. That's a sign of love and passion. That's not a sign of not being prepared.
I mean,
Emergency tents?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it was like on a
passion.
floodplain. You know what I mean? There's going to be a bit of rain or something, and there's just going to be people that are drowning in this fucking tent city in Townsville. Because what you guys
Fire festival?
Exactly, it's Fire Festival or like a human rights fucking. You know, there's been like a natural disaster somewhere, and it's
Refugees are
evacuation.
kept in better conditions, Denan.
Mate,
It's ridiculous.
look, they've got it. They've got a roof over their head, and they've got a series to win. That's all they care about. The punters and the dribbles from up north.
Cowboys Foundation members promised tickets, turned away.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that legit?
Yeah, they lined up for fucking like 8 hours to get tickets, and then they were told, "Oh, sorry, our system's down," and they had to go online. There was none left.
Is that honestly
Yeah,
legit?
they just hosed them away from the ticket booth as well. It was complete disrespect. They just turned a sprinkler
I know
on.
that's not legit.
No, that is true. They just turned the sprinklers on.
They turned the
It's not
sprinklers on.
true. It's clearly not true.
No, I'm telling you, the first part is. The second part is all alleged.
All alleged.
But the first part's true.
Why would you promise tickets when you know it's going to sell out? That's bizarre.
I don't know. You ask the people that just fucking.
Did we do that with our live show, Eddie?
Well, sort of. No, but if you're a foundation member, you got one.
You got one, yeah, that's true.
So who did you promise tickets to that didn't get tickets?
Well, we just had to. We had to.
Well,
listen.
no one.
No
it's
one.
just that some corporate sponsors asked for some and we didn't have any left.
Surely they could get a couple more.
No,
we
it out.
moved the needle.
We worked it out. Look,
Did you-
high-powered discussions?
Okay, so you threw your weight around a bit.
Yeah, had to.
He did.
Yeah, my way.
I watched.
Yeah, all I mean.
Now, so obviously, game 1 and 2 sold out. You know, as I get close to it, it does begin to feel like quite an advantage. Do you feel like it is like it's becoming? I guess you can feel this like, wow, game 1 and 2 in Queensland. That's pretty massive.
I think we
Yeah.
spent half an hour on it last week, didn't
Well,
we?
I know that, but you know, as you
clearly
get
an
closer-
advantage.
It's definitely an advantage.
I know it's an advantage,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I'm saying it seems to be. It feels more dramatic. 1 and 2 already sold out.
Back-to-back games.
Yes. I wonder whether because game. I mean, like, look, ultimately, yeah, like there's nothing you can do about it. It is an advantage, but maybe if you're gonna if you're looking at it as an advantage, you could also say, well, they've never played at these grounds before, so maybe it's like. But I mean, fuck, like it's an advantage. But what are you gonna do? New South Wales are gonna beat the fuck out of them if I just sort of take my New South Wales hat off and just think purely objectively.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not concerned. I was more concerned, and now as I get closer, I'm getting less and less concerned.
I think,
really?
Look, it's definitely an advantage. Let's start there. But I think it just will reinforce in the boys that New South Wales has to win game 1.
Absolutely.
Which we already did anyway, even if it was in Melbourne. Like, it's very hard to get an away win in Origin historically. But
I feel
now
like
it's like,
it's-
mate,
yeah.
if we don't get game 1,
Freddie hasn't won in Queensland.
Ever.
Random stats
I mean,
guy
it's
Instagram.
what 3-4 years. So
True.
that's from random stats guy.
Yeah.
He's got some. I mean, where does he? I don't know. It's like,
Right, he's got a full-time job as well. He just
how does he find it though? I don't even know where to get those
No.
stats from.
he dropped a fucking.
do you reckon he goes, oh, I'm going to look this up, and like he tries to confirm
whether he's just got like like his thought process is like, you know, if he's got like an
Mm.
interesting.
Maybe he's the Rain Man and he just fucking remembers everything.
Well, he might. Well, we've got the Rain Man on about even,
Okay.
but this guy's coming for his crown. Except that we've picked the winner in the golf last 2 weeks, so you know.
Anyway.
Anyway, off
About
topic.
even is,
Origin.
that's their show, guys. Go and listen to About Even.
Now he's working.
Great promoter. Great promoter. You've brought it all back.
Now he's
Oh
promoting.
fuck!
But, like, you know, I think that if we have to go to Suncorp for game 2, having lost the first one, it's going to be really fucking tough.
I'll tell you
Yeah.
what. If let's say Queensland win the first one, talk about folklore. If you do win at Suncorp,
Oh, my God.
that
Yeah.
will be sick. Could you imagine the decider at ANZ?
Hectic.
That'd be a lot of fun.
Good.
Mate, that I want it. I want it. I don't like dead rubbers.
No,
I
dude.
always, even if I'm a Queenslander, I always want it to go to game 3. You know what I mean?
Well, thank God in Origin they usually do.
Yeah, fuck. Because
You
like
know?
dead rubbers are like they're
They're
not
shit
shit,
out.
but they're
Well-
just nowhere near the same. You know?
The
not
team that hasn't won the series is pretty fucking tuned out of the game. You know what I mean? Like if you've already lost it, you're like, oh fuck, I'll watch it, but I'm
Yep.
already. Just trying to
Well,
put bets
yeah,
on.
but you watch because you don't want to get swept.
Yes.
I
You know
mean-
what I mean? It's like obviously the erection has completely gone.
Yeah,
by game 3.
absolutely. Speaking of omens, do you feel that the moustache is a good or bad omen for New South Wales?
Look, I think it's a good omen for New South Wales because it was the goatee was tied to the success of a Queensland-based team. That team, unsurprisingly to anyone not called Denan, they fucking shit the bed and they sucked. So the fact that the goatees had to go and now it's a moustache, I think that's just, it's a direct result of a shit Queensland team.
I've always been told that an omen is the sum of its parts. Now, if
Who told you that?
Omen studies. I did omen studies in year 12. I got a band 6, so I know. So I know what I'm talking about. And I was told that if you take a shit omen and cut it up into little pieces, it gets shitter and shitter. So
Right.
your
theory of
goatee
omens.
was rubbish in
Okay.
the end. Let's all fucking call a spade a spade. It was no good. You butchering it and trying to fucking change it does nothing. Gets weaker. So I'm pumped up.
So you think that Queensland could be worse than the Broncos if you make following that logic?
exactly what I'm saying.
Holy
It's
shit!
potentially a 13 plus for New South Wales.
Wow, and it's all because of the moustache.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, I actually think it's the opposite. I think, when you talk about Queensland's spirit of fighting, holding on, sticking, hanging in there for the boys, I feel like that's what the moustache is doing. I look like a fucking idiot and I walk around every day of my life with this moustache looking like a fucking idiot. And if you're willing to do that for your state, what are they willing to do for you?
Did they
And I think-
ask you to do that, or is this
Absolutely.
okay? So
straight on
this
the front, straight on the blower to Munster.
Oh, okay. So
He
this
said,
is a-
mate, fuck. They literally had a picture of it in their team meeting this morning and said,
Is
"Look
that what
the
they're
big-"
tapping before they walk
Yeah.
out onto the field? Is the moustache above the door?
Yep.
I'd love that. They
They're
should
tapping,
do
they're
that.
absolutely tapping the moustache, and that's why I think it could be a historic win, maybe even a clean sweep.
Do you think then, if Queensland does win, obviously no one expects that to happen, but if let's just say they do, let's just suspend reality for a second. Do you think that maybe every player, in honour of you and the moustache, rocks one for game 2?
I think it's a very likely scenario that the boys, buoyed by my commitment to them, will show commitment back. I think it's very likely. And to be honest, it'd be paying $1.01 really.
And
But what happens if you lose?
If we lose, then it had nothing to do with the moustache, and it's
Right.
everything to do with their poor performance.
Do you wear a Blatchy's Blues wig next week if Queensland?
No,
the whole
no
show?
fucking way. Oh, okay. What bet are we going to make you then?
And I'll grow a moustache.
No. What bet are we going to make then? Queensland,
gotta
New
work
South
something
Wales.
out.
We've got to work something out.
You got to wear the Blatchy's blue wig.
Yeah.
That makes me
fair.
sick. That
Yeah, I
makes me
know.
sick.
It's the Blatchy's Blues wig, and obviously love New South Wales, but it's like, tell me you're a dribbler without tell me you're a dribbler is the Blatchy's Blues wig. It's phenomenal.
Blatchy was the original dribbler.
Yeah, he was.
Well, okay. What can you wear though?
Well, you tell us. We just told you
Well, I
what
don't
you're
know.
wearing.
We don't have any shit. No.
No. I mean, we could just have.
I don't think we come up with. He's come up with.
Oh, that's true. He doesn't need to come
Yeah,
up.
Like
but
we'd have to come up with
set our
great
own
ideas for him.
Yeah, that's true. We don't want to give him.
No.
Well, I mean, just 2 Queensland jerseys.
Okay, that's
Sure.
fine. No, it's easy. All right.
That's easy.
We'll do
There's
that.
nothing else that
No,
Matt.
but
Is
I
there
don't
anything you
mind
can-
that. I think because a Blatchy's Blues wig is the equivalent. It looks just as stupid as a Queensland jersey. You know what I mean on a person.
Yeah, but what do you reckon, Matt?
I think the jersey. I think you're right about the Queensland jersey looking as stupid as the Blatchy's wig. I think it's
you go.
even.
So
Well, he's not a part of the company anymore. So he has no say.
Yeah, I'll wear. I mean, look, I think
Look,
that's fair.
Can it change? Like, as in, if we find
If we think of something
that is better, but at the moment it'll be Blatchy's blue for the whole episode,
yeah,
and you got to wear
Queensland
jerseys for
Yeah.
the whole episode.
Yeah, I'm
Or
agreeing to.
Munster's
I'm
logo.
agreeing to.
Okay.
No. Better. 8 in a row shirts.
yep.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay. So
All right.
either 8 in a row shirts or the
Queensland
shirts.
jerseys.
Okay, sweet. All right, that's fair. I like it. I
Okay,
like
this
it.
is
Oh,
good.
it makes me fucking sick thinking of putting that on. Honestly,
Dude.
does. Makes
It'll
me
be-
Do you know how itchy those fucking things are?
Yeah. And you, fuck, I have a better idea. I want
Okay.
him to, he won't do it, but that's all right. But what if we got him to do like a rendition of We All Bleed Blue?
No, absolutely not.
To camera.
To camera, yeah. no, we
Hey, I
record
don't
it.
want to disrespect such a great song.
Yeah,
It's
no,
a
it is a good
fantastic song.
But you said before that you reckon you look like Freddie Mercury.
Absolutely.
So you could channel your inner Mercury.
No, I don't want to do it. Like, it's such a great song. You don't want to disrespect greatness. You know what I mean? It's just, it brings such
Maybe we just
passion.
edit the images of next week and him in a Blatchy's Blues wig to the song. You know what I mean? We just make
on the face
a
thing.
music video of him just sitting there.
Or put his face on Freddie Mercury performing.
Okay, so
with
deal,
Bleed
deal.
Blue over the top.
Yeah.
Deal. 8
Done.
in a row.
Done.
Done. Sweet.
Right.
Okay. Now, on to the biggest topics of the game. Teddy's revenge or Holmes' redemption. Now, obviously, Teddy last year got knocked out. It was unfortunate. Obviously, no fucking reasonable person likes seeing that shit, regardless of the passions between the states. And you can tell that when the Roosters played the Rabbitohs, they were firing for Jairo. So you can clearly tell that Teddy, was not upset by it, but he wants to get one back in the sense of, again, I'm speaking for him, but I can only assume that in the Origin arena, he has been the best player for the last 3 years. So you've got him with his revenge. Then you've got Holmes, who before he went away to NFL, he was like unbelievable in Origin.
Yeah.
And a lot of people have doubted his ability to play fullback. So my question to you is, will it be the Teddy show or Holmes show? And what differences do you think each player is going to bring?
Firstly, with Teddy's thing and Jairo, I actually felt sorry for Jairo as much as I hate Queensland, where I'm like, clearly he didn't mean to.
I know, it's fucking crazy.
Clearly. So shout out Jairo, even they're a Queenslander, and fuck you with the greatest respect. But I think that if you're looking at the tea leaves, I'd say that it's probably more likely a Teddy's revenge than a Holmes redemption. Holmes he started to throb at fullback, Holmes, for the Cowboys. But Teddy's, a Dally M winner and an Origin champion. And you know what? I don't want to sort of bring up old wounds for Holmes, but he didn't make it in the NFL, and I wonder if that's still just messing it with your head,
Confidence-wise. Yeah, okay.
It's a different game. So, as you say, Teddy's been the best in Origin for the last 3 years.
Yeah.
Dally M medalist, as you've just said. He's won fucking 2 premierships. Like, he on his day, he is so goddamn elite. And I just think that he wants to go out there and right terrible wrongs. And I think that Holmes has the potential, I'm not saying he will, but he has the potential perhaps to be like overwhelmed a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, it's a fucking different game altogether.
At the full, I mean, absolutely. Like Holmes, I think Holmes did play fullback last year in game 2, and then he got moved to the wing. I could be wrong about that, but it's one of the biggest games outside of the grand final. It's one of the biggest games of Holmes' career when you think about it.
Yeah.
Because like that fullback position, it's been moved around. Pong was supposed to be there, and the whole question is Holmes a fullback or a winger?
Yeah.
And he has played so well on the wing for Queensland. You've got Brimo at 14. And it's only been recently that he's found his form at fullback. Before that, he's
the start of the season, there was like yarns in the media, not that they're always to be trusted, but like that he was potentially going to be moved on, or like, what's the Cowboys coach called?
Well, yeah, there was whispers of like,
just whispers of like, oh, is there going to be a roster overhaul? Valentine Holmes is on so much money, but he's playing on the wing, all this shit.
Yeah.
But now he's actually making a fist of fullback again. He's got his rugby league legs on. So if he rips at fullback again, like the fullback position for Queensland, it's almost like when Warney retired from cricket. It was like there was just a different fucking spinner every week almost. So it's like every year they've had like
Seriously.
they've had Kalen, they've had Brimson, they've had Holmes. It's like,
would have you chose Brimson or Holmes at fullback?
I would have picked Holmes.
I would have picked Brimson because of what he did last year. When he
was great
played
last
fullback,
year.
he fucking ripped.
Yep.
It was like he was like almost the best player on the
Or
ground.
would you have picked Brimson at fullback and then put
Holmes on the wing, Marnie on the bench?
Yeah, well, no, Marnie's injured.
He's only injured though because it like he would have been in the squad.
Yeah.
Crazy.
But did they release him?
Yeah.
And
Okay,
then
so this
he
is
got
what
injured.
happened. They basically said, the implication was that he was going to start. Now, I don't know whether Greeny actually said that to him, but like the word was that he was told he was going to start, and then Harry Grant proved his fitness, I guess was ahead of schedule. Then they said to Marnie, we'll keep you in camp, but you're allowed to play on the weekend. But you can't tell a footy player that he's allowed to play because he's going to play.
Yeah.
Because if he doesn't play, then he looks like a dog to his boys. Plus, Reid Marnie is one of the toughest, most competitive players in the comp.
They also played on Sunday.
It makes no sense to me. We spoke about this last week on Tuesday, and Finchy agreed. I would have actually had Marnie starting with Grant off the bench because Grant, although I think on his day is the best hooker in the game, and if he had played 4 or 5 games leading up to it, you would have been like 100%. He is he's a gun. He's so good. But the worry is if you're Fittler, you're going, this guy hasn't actually played 80 minutes all season, not just recently. He has had no games in the last 4 weeks. 80 hasn't played 80 all season. He's been interchanging with Cameron Smith. And that's another thing. Is like, if he's been interchanging so well with Cameron Smith, why wouldn't you just do that with Reid Marnie?
Yeah.
Now,
Brandon Smith.
Brandon Smith. So what I'm not getting is, don't get me wrong, if Harry Grant comes out and plays at even 85% of his ability, he'll be sweet. But the worry is if you're Freddie Fittler, you're going, mate, we are just going to try to direct so much traffic
Well,
down
they'll
here.
just pound him for the
That's what
first
I'm
half of the
thinking.
game, won't they?
That's what I'm thinking.
Like, hasn't played 80 minutes, and you got to go play 80 minutes of Origin with the new rules.
And you're a rookie in your career-ish, you know? Like, it's only his second Origin game.
He's a beast, though, Grant. Like, I wouldn't be
Yeah.
surprised if he goes out and fucking
Completely
towels us
rips.
up.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like, there is a...
Like him, game 3 last year, I was like,
Changed the game.
holy fuck.
But
They've got another Munster.
Yeah.
They've got another
Yeah.
Ponga. They've got another, like, elite
Weapon
Origin.
in a duffel bag.
But that's what's
Exactly.
surprising, though, is that wouldn't you would say that Reed is as good as Jake Friend. So why wouldn't you just play the same roles as they played last year, just whilst Grant gets his fitness, and then maybe game 2 or 3, you know what I mean? Then you put him in for 80
Paul
minutes.
Green's got some different plans.
So it's really interesting. Now, don't get me wrong. There's a very real possibility he goes out and he's the best player on the field. There's no one denying that. But if there is a question, the question is like, fuck, 80 minutes in the middle, Freddie Fittler, those big boys, they're going to be going at him all day long.
It's a good omen for New South Wales, actually, now you say it.
You know, so I feel bad for Reed Marnie. And what's crazy is it's not just about this game. It's about now Reed is definitely not available, or not definitely, most likely not available for game 2. And even
did
maybe
a
game 3.
pec.
Shoulder. Dislocated his shoulder.
Oh,
so that's at least 3 to 4 weeks, I'd say. Now, that could be wrong, could be quicker. But at the very minimum, you've got a banged up Marnie for game 2. Or even just a banged up Marnie for game 3. So you've actually taken an option away from you for the series. Like, by the game 3, usually it's not the same team as game 1.
Yeah.
So again, it's a very surprising call from Green. Very surprising call.
And you'd be
Had they
fucking
gone
spewing
with
for
had they
Reed.
gone with Marnie starting at 9, Grant off the bench, would you start AJ Brimson at fullback?
Oh, mate, I don't know. Because, like, Brimo's been solid the last 2 games, but he was a bit quiet early in the year. And it just depends where Valentine Holmes is. If he's hitting form, so I think he's going to be better than he was last year. So either
Who's
or.
more of a game breaker?
Holmes.
Holmes, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's sort of probably where I'd.
But the work
lean
Brimson gets
to,
through. The
potentially.
work Brimson gets through. He gets through a lot of work, and he was great in game 1.
Who's better defensively?
I'm not sure. I can't answer
Titans
that.
certainly not keeping points out.
Yeah, what are they letting him 40 a game? No offense, but
So
Numbers are numbers.
it's going to be really interesting, though. Like, Teddy is going to be out firing. I just wonder how are they going to balance, because Tommy's playing so fucking well, how are they going to balance getting the ball to each of them? You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
don't want them fighting over the ball.
I think he'll be working through the ruck a lot, like he was in that game 2 in Perth.
Him and Jake just doing.
That's what I
little-
mean. You might crowd the ruck. You know what I mean? When you got 2 absolute fucking guns, I worry that, like, it's
Too many weapons in
Yeah,
the
too
duffel
many
bag.
weapons. You know what I mean? That's all around the ruck. Again, that's just being extremely critical. But I think Teddy's going to
Two
be
sides of the
fucking-
field.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't know if you can have too many weapons in the duffel bag, Eddie. From a New South Wales
you
standpoint.
can't. No.
I
We're
thought you
all
had too many
weapons.
last year, though.
Well, no, we didn't. We're actually missing a weapon, and that was Tom.
Okay, but weren't your exact words, we've got too many weapons in the duffel bag?
Too many for Queensland,
Okay.
but we didn't.
Look, what happened last year was
It's very easily
we
explained.
had the duffel bag was full of weapons, full to the fucking brim.
Fucking zipper broke.
What we didn't realise, zipper broke, couldn't get the fucking things out. And when we
Fucking
got them
zippers.
out, when we hacked through the bag and got them out, they all jammed.
Yeah.
It was annoying.
was
It's
an-
rare.
It was unfortunate.
It happens from time to time.
Okay.
Interns
it.
were shot.
Oh, yeah. Killed.
Now, another big matchup, and also almost bittersweet for you. The great man, DCE versus Cleary. Do you think that they're playing for the Australian jersey right now?
Kind of. I mean, it's hard not to. It's hard.
If Cleary fucking carves up and we win the series,
Yeah.
then, like, I think he gets it, doesn't he?
You reckon?
has to. Well, I mean, his form. He's the best halfback in the competition, form wise, stats wise.
We'll put it this way.
Club-wise.
So do you think whoever wins the series, that's the 7 that will get the Australian jersey? You know what I mean?
I think it also depends on how the end of your year finishes. When Manly win the comp, I assume that the coach is going to be like, well, fuck, okay, maybe we do pick an informed DCE.
What does the end of the year look like from a Kangaroos perspective?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I'm not sure. I think it's still all up in the air because of fucking...
Well, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, they may not ever be playing.
But it is interesting, like, let's say Cleary does get that 7 jersey at the end of the year. Fuck, like, he's 22, 23. That's like 10 years. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a fucking long time. Munster... So who do you think wins that? Well, I mean, what differences do you reckon DC and Cleary are going to bring? Like, do you think DC is experienced, or do you think Cleary's about to hit his straps? Because it's not a make or break game at all for Cleary.
But the jury is still out on Cleary and Origin. I think.
Absolutely.
In big games.
Yeah.
We've been...
Well, I don't subscribe to that because it's a big game. The prelim final is a big game. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's just a grand final that they struggled in. Outside of that.
Yeah. He
Okay,
hasn't-
sure.
That's fair. The biggest of games. Origin, grand finals, he just hasn't been able to.
Well, it was a really good game too, though, last year.
Yeah, he was.
Incredible. And he did win this player of the series for Blues last year.
Which I don't think was reasonable. I love him.
Who'd you have for New South Wales player of the year last
I
year?
can't remember, but I remember when Cleary got... Who did we have for New South Wales last year? I honestly can't remember, but I do remember when Cleary got named, I was like, I don't think that's fair off of one good game, which was great. He played really well. We were at that game.
Do you know what? I remember having this exact discussion at the Nelson, screaming, being like, hey, we had a player in mind as to who was supposed to get it for New South Wales. I can't fucking remember.
No.
I cannot remember old Origin series anymore. I don't know why. They just slip out of my mind.
Fucking hell. So
Too emotional or something.
Yeah, well drunk.
well, they do blur. You know what I mean? Because you are quite emotionally invested in it.
You know what you need to do, and this is a tip for young players.
Okay.
You got to sit down on the couch the next day and watch it again.
Rub one out?
sober.
Oh,
Well, if your team wins...
I thought like rubbing one out relaxes you and
Look. If you want to get really relaxed, then rub one out. Yeah, it's
before
up to you.
or after the game.
Well,
I'd
if you lose, I'd run one out before. If you win, you can do it during.
Yeah, because it is a review game, so you probably want to go in there relaxed if you know your team's lost. If you know your team's won, you do it after because you're fucking...
What about a big
fever pitch.
win during? You know, before, after, during, you rub one out.
I'd be checking the timings of last try scorer, and I'd be trying to time it. Trying to time it with the last...
Time your climax.
Yeah.
I've done that many times.
Time the climax.
With 2019, I timed it.
Well, we both did. We just put a pillow in between us so we couldn't see each other. Had a countdown, had a clock on the wall.
And what, not looked at each other? But
No, we had a pillow in between us. Same couch. We only had one couch in the house.
Yeah.
So when did you...
Sue us.
So when did the rub out start in that teddy plate? Was it when Tommy passed it, or was it a few minutes before?
No, you had to build up. It was a couple of minutes before.
Oh, fuck, sorry.
No, I
fucking
can go.
Fabio.
With Teddy, I can go pretty quick.
Yeah, but
As soon as Pierce gets a ball, that's when I start.
Was it
I had to
Fergie
start a little
Ferg?
earlier. I took some more time, unfortunately. You know.
Fucking sex god here, look out.
Well, no, it was more like, you've got to sort of work yourself up. I'm just getting old, I think. That's more the problem. It's not that I've got staying power.
So can we confirm Hello Sport tradition is to rub one out on series wins?
Yeah. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Timing it. Well, it's not necessarily, you're just timing it with great moments. So whether it's footy, whether it's Warnie's 700th, not to use cricket again, but, those sort of
When
just
was the
great
first
events.
time that you realised rubbing one out to a great victory was something that really added to the moment?
Was it Menzies 08?
Might have been.
I think it might have been. That might have been because we didn't know each other that well before that moment. I think it was Menzies 08, Phil Gould's commentary. Wouldn't it be great if Beav goes over here? And that's when you start.
And then you start to,
Yeah.
move the hand and...
That's from memory. It might have been something else. I'm pretty sure it was that one.
Yeah.
And then basically
Then it feels good,
every
and then you
major
just-
sporting event since.
Mate, it's beautiful. It's honestly really beautiful that you have moved past that kind of
good
barrier
mates.
of friendship.
You just need a pillow blocking your
You're good to go.
peripherals.
No, well, at least everyone knows what's going to be happening the day after a series win for you guys.
Yeah. Don't bother getting in touch.
Phone's
okay.
off.
So
The phone's off, you know what's happening.
Straight to voicemail.
it's not a hangover, it's something else.
No. Time of
Okay.
the climax.
So DC versus Cleary, I think that what's the real battle, obviously it is a battle for the Australian jersey, make no mistake. But the real battle for me, in my opinion, is the Munster Luai. Because like DC and Cleary, they just got to get their troops around the park, kick to the corners, all that kind of, they got to just do their job. Whereas Munster and Luai are going to be the game breakers for each team. And that's where I just think that, I'm a huge fan of Luai, but I just think we have a massive advantage with Munster over Luai.
Yep.
Not because Luai's not incredible. You look at his stats, they're actually way better than Munster's this year. But Munster is the biggest game player in the NRL, period.
Origin man, Origin cloth is Cam Munster. And fucking Luai's debuting, which is just another factor, right? So he's obviously going to be a bit more nervous. There's a bit on, but... It's sort of, look, you know what you're going to get with Munster, and then sort of almost like a baseline. You're going to get a fucking great performance, and you might even get like an all-time performance. Yeah. With Luai at Origin, you don't know. So it's a bit of a wait and see, but I believe in him, Eddie.
I believe in him too, Tom. Of course I do. Yeah, Munster's going to fucking kill it. He kills it every year. Like, he's such a fucking handful. He scares the shit out of me. Every time he gets the ball, I'm just fucking terrified.
Yeah.
And that's not going to change. And it's something as New South Welshman we just have to fucking live with. Yeah. But in terms of Luai, I hope and I pray that having Cleary out there, who's now played, is this his 4th year of Origin? Something like that?
Yes, it is. Which is
so he's getting some fucking runs on the board. He's starting to notch up some games. Like, he'll be calm. He'll be a calm presence out there, which I think can only help Luai. Because in the past, we've thrown some fucking green halves in there and they've just struggled. You know?
Well, you look what Maloney did for Cleary in those 2 series. You know?
Exactly.
Let's say, okay, you're Luai's performance head coach.
Yep.
What speech would you give him before the game?
Eyes up footy, man.
Eyes up footy. I'd actually probably start playing, like you have him in the room by himself, and he's just sitting there, and then just come in and just hit play on the Wiggles' #1 classic hit, ba-da-da-da-da, 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 ba-da-da-da-da.
New South Wales, we're the Blues.
Queensland,
You're going to lose.
ba-da-da-da-da. Yeah. And then I'd just go hit stop and I'd walk out.
Yeah.
That's it.
So, like, one of those, like, when it comes to folklore, all Tom did was walk in, played the Wiggles, walked out, and I knew it was a series win on the horizon.
He started crying, and then I go, that's what I wanted to see, and I just get out.
I'd also sit him down and just go, put on Joey highlights and go, both halves, different number, but you both halves.
Okay.
Just do this.
Just do what Joey did.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so on the flip side, if you are trying to put Munster off his game, what would you do? Got him in a room, you can do whatever you want to him. What would you do? Other than kill him or injure him?
No,
Cut off his legs.
Look, I don't want to maim him. I mean,
Well, outside of maiming him, I'm running out of options.
Yeah, I know. Do we
It's fucking tough.
waterboard him? Because, I mean, that's like...
waterboarding, historically
waterboarding's-
effective.
It's a very good way to sort of unsettle. It's not going to kill you, but it will terrify you.
Yeah.
You feel like you're drowning.
Yeah.
So maybe we just waterboard him.
Maybe just hold him down on a bench and like drop water droplets on his forehead every 45 minutes.
Whilst playing Joey highlights on repeat?
Playing Joey highlights, and I mean, maybe we can put on something fucking scat to listen to. I don't know what that'd be.
I don't know what that would be.
Well, maybe we put on We All Bleed Blue and we just leave him in there and we get out. We just have that on repeat and he's in there for like an hour.
Yeah. We wake him up every probably 20 minutes.
So he has no idea of like.
And he's
what
like
time.
fucking disorientated. She's
it
like,
breakfast?
What is going on? No, is it lunch? I don't know.
It's actually 3 in the morning. Here's We All Bleed Blue.
And then we tell him he's been asleep for 7 hours, but he's been asleep for 7 minutes, and just really start fucking with him.
And we'll just pour VB down his throat rather than 4X.
And then we send him out to
Fuck
play
that
footy.
shit. We'll pour blokes all over his face, which is going to be,
That's a positive, though.
Well, no, but it's not though, because it's going to be in the context of
Maybe you waterboard him with blokes.
I like that.
You know
Good
what
branding
I mean?
opportunity for you.
Yeah, true. You know what? Even though we may lose the series, it's a big win for Bloke as a company.
Yeah, because you still win the series technically.
Look, hand on heart. I don't even know if waterboarding could stop that motherfucker.
If you waterboarded him with blokes, he'd probably just drink it. In fairness, he seems like a weapon.
He looks
on the
like a
pitch.
fucking weapon. He'd be like, holy shit, is that all you got?
I mean, he literally did Bender into last year's series, so it actually might work against
That
you
might
and he plays
actually
even
work
better.
against us. We might need to take some time out to really think about what we do to Munster.
Yeah, look, I'm not waterboarding him with bloke.
No.
I think that fucking makes him stronger.
At least we talked our way through that one. That was
Look,
a
how about
workshop
this? It's game 3 to decider most likely. Let's say it is. You can come back and what the plan is to
For Munster.
destroy
Sure.
Munster's
Yep.
career.
Great.
Without maiming, which should obviously be option number 1.
Yeah.
Now but it is really interesting because Jerome Luai, he's such a momentum player, and so it's going to be interesting to see how Queensland, upset that momentum. Whereas like Munster is the kind of player that, yes, obviously he works on momentum. Every player does, but he can create his own momentum very regularly. All of a sudden, as you said, like the line's set, he just gets the ball. There's literally 0 on. And then all of a sudden he fucks the line up with, jumping
His weird
around.
palms and just fucking bouncing
Was
around.
it a little chip and chase last year in game 3?
Oh, yes,
He did
there
like
was.
2. He did like 2 kicks and then another one over the corner. And you're like,
what?
well, what
that
the
was off the back of fuck all.
There was nothing on. Goes down the short side, chip. No, I think it was down the short. Chip, kicks again, and then they kick across to Edric Lee, and I think Bronco Lee knocks it back. Yeah, and
Edric gets it.
Edric gets it, scores.
I can't imagine what it would feel like to be that free. You know what I mean?
wow.
Just like he's just playing footy. He doesn't
It's
he doesn't know what
instinct.
the fuck's going on. He's just like,
Crazy.
all right, let's do that. Oh, ball's back. All right, let's do that.
Well, that's what.
But it's all coming off.
Yeah.
and he's
Fucking ridiculous.
It's not like he's GI. You know what I mean? He's not a huge body, but every time he throws that fend out, it works.
Yeah.
every time.
Strong as shit.
Fucking, he's
Doesn't
fine.
have a great body. And we are purveyors of fine bodies.
street
here. I
strong.
think that's fair. Yeah, he's just a tough fella. But
Very
Not-
average body.
Not a hot bod.
No, but doesn't need to be.
Best players often don't have hot bods.
Look, if you're leading a state into, territories that not many men go, you don't need a good rig for that.
You don't.
Matter of fact, good rigs can even hold you back a little bit.
Yeah.
You don't want to be focused on the material things. You
Yeah,
want to
that's
be
true.
focused on
footy and footy
the
alone.
intangible qualities that make him one of the greatest.
Well,
Origin
out and
players.
out footballers, historically speaking, don't have great bods.
Joey didn't have a great body.
I'm talking out and out football.
I'll say
After
this:
Langer?
Turbo and Jake don't have great bodies. They're fit, young, throbbers.
Well, even Jake, especially, he's just a thick.
Latrell doesn't have a great
doesn't have
body.
a great body.
Just a thick boy. Thick boy.
Just a big, thick boy.
What about your boy Ben Trbojevic, poor fella?
Yeah, that was tough.
Welcome to first
God.
grade.
Yeah, yeah,
Fucking
yeah.
hell.
Jesus, gets his head taken off.
By Clemmer. Well, look, as long as we got a penalty that game, that was all that mattered.
That really did even things up.
It did. It was.
I thought that up until that point, I was a bit I don't know whether the penalty count's been fair, but then when
no,
his
it's been
head,
perfect.
then he nearly died, and I thought that's fair.
No, that's fair.
Lucky you sent him off because that really helped you.
Well, with 10 seconds to go,
We did need that.
down to
Yeah.
12, every chance of coming back there.
Chance or what?
Chance.
Okay.
Chance.
Don't tune out, guys. He didn't mean to say it that way.
No, I'm sorry.
But yeah, so it's going to the Luai Munster is a really, really interesting battle because who knows? Jerome could come out and just be one of those fucking freaks and kill it. Another point: To'o, Coates, when opposites collide.
Yeah.
Is there? Look, we all know it's well documented. When it comes to fat dicks on the flank, To'o is the fattest of them all.
Yep.
King of the PCM. Post
King
contact
of the
man.
PCM. Now, Coates, his form has been a bit down lately.
He's playing with a shit team, though. Fairness.
I mean, look, you didn't need to say it, but you said it.
Well, I'm just I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. He's trying to
Yeah.
get the fuck out of there, and you're
I know.
turning on him. You're
But I
turning
feel
on the
like that
fucking-
Well,
was
second
like-
last, 3 wins.
Yeah. And you're turning on him. What's that about?
Nah, just being honest.
Turning on your
but I feel
winger.
like I was going down this road, and then you literally took the wheel from my hand and quickly.
Did
crashed
I
us into a
hear
wall.
Eddie him just say that Coates hasn't been playing very well
He's been struggling
the
for form,
day
hasn't he?
before the game?
Yeah, it's called Queensland honesty, mate.
Okay.
But any tips for FDF To'o defending the high ball from Coates? What do you think he's going to do there?
I don't think you're going to out jump him.
You don't think, or
Obviously.
are you sure?
I can't imagine on most occasions that Brian Fat Dick on the flank To'o.
Do you think he needs to cut his dick off because it's weighing him down?
Definitely not. Definitely not. You don't cut that thing off.
Okay, don't cut the fat
It's a
dick
work
off,
of
mate.
art. You
Okay.
can't do that.
Okay.
Could you get a little vest, like a little cup, and then fill it with helium so it just looks like
So it floats. So
Floats?
you actually
What, on his
you're
cock or on his
taking the
body?
weight.
no on his cock to take the weight of his hog. So
Nah,
it's just
now you're
like a
thinking.
little bag, and it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a little helium pouch.
Just fucking jam it into a balloon and then fill that with helium.
Well, same thing.
Yeah.
but the principle's the same.
The principle's the same.
Yes,
The math works out.
the math does work out. I'm just thinking in my head, fucking, how do you get that hog off the ground?
That's eyes up footy.
How do you suspend this fucking thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Helium will do that. Now, look, how much helium are you going to need? That's the other question.
Look, I can nip down to the CSIRO and run the numbers.
So you think a little cradle for the FDF
yeah.
Yeah.
is going to get him up there to.
Well, how
compete
the
with
fuck
that?
are we going to get him off the ground?
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
of
I
course
said-
I'm concerned about his inability to jump down, and of course I am. Like, do you want to get down to my fucking heart and my soul? Yeah, I'm worried about that. I think they pepper him with eyeballs.
So do you think they potentially lose? The only problem is if you put Tom Trbojevic on the wing, he's got a fatter dick.
He
Yeah,
does,
but-
but,
yeah, but-
he's a bigger body.
Yeah. Okay. So
So
you think
that's
that he can
alright.
handle the weight?
Longer
'cause he's-
torso, longer
Longer
legs.
torso,
Okay,
so
okay.
less height to get through.
Okay.
Look, I wouldn't rule out helium on his cock as well, but it's not as pertinent or pressing an issue.
Okay. Because he's a bit of bigger body mass. He's obviously got more muscle mass to make the leap.
Push that thing up.
Look, see what the CSIRO says. Didn't get that one out. If there's enough helium to go round,
Yeah.
then Tommy gets some.
And we might be in there at half time just gassing it up. A little bit of
Yeah.
oh, you need a bit more helium in here. Let me tend to that. But, and I'll ask you this as a winger. When you are coming up against, not you as a winger, I was talking to Denan. You nodded like I was talking to you. I was like,
Well, I was prepared to answer questions.
but if you're coming up against someone who's significantly larger than you in that position,
Yeah.
are you better off going, fuck, I'm not even going to try. I'm just going to try and defend like when he
No,
comes
you've
down?
got to basically, I wouldn't be surprised if they just tell, Tommy, look, give the penalty away, do the escort. You know what I mean? If it's like that bad, just escort. But I don't think To'o's going to be left there. I think they're going to put Tommy on. Every time you guys get on your line and there's a crossfield kick, they're going to put Tommy on the wing and To'o at centres on the fifth tackle. I think that's what's going to happen.
Makes sense.
Yep.
On top of that, I think it's just going to be like the word from Fittler to Tom Trbojevic is like, you've got a job that, let's say there is a crossfield kick, do everything you can to get there to try and hold. Like, let's say To'o stays on the wing. Do everything you can to get there to try to catch Coates as he's coming down.
Yep.
Like, that'll be the job of the half and the centre. So I'd assume it will be Luai on that side. I think. Anyway, whoever it is, it'll be that as soon as the ball goes up, I need you sprinting to the ball to try to do something to dislodge the ball or hold them up or whatever. But it is really interesting to see that these opposites, To'o, his ball running is unbelievable. And you saw Penrith on the weekend, their momentum was nowhere near the same momentum without To'o.
Yeah.
So I actually think To'o's ball running ability is going to do more damage than Coates' catching ability.
Well, they're like forwards Origin wingers a lot of the time.
Yeah,
they just truck nut.
But imagine To'o in a sped up Origin game with a little bit of extra space. Whereas Coates, like, it's a much more harder thing to execute a crossfield bomb than it is for To'o to do 20 fucking runs and punch through the middle and get quick play the balls. So I actually think that, Coates, although he may do a Falau and fucking do incredible, and we get a couple of tries. But I think, if you're a betting man, To'o is probably going to impact the game more. I actually think he's going to have an incredible game. I really think that To'o in the middle there is going to be so hard for Queensland to handle. I really, really do.
Love to hear it.
You've made me feel a lot better about this whole situation, moving Tommy out to the wing on fifth tackle kicks.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck, good luck out jumping in, bruh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. Look, you've got my option where I just explained, or you put helium on their cocks.
Could do both.
Maybe both.
Because, there's no harm in putting some sort of helium.
Tell me what's bad about my plan.
I can't. I haven't got anything.
There's nothing bad about it.
You've done the math. And honestly, it's...
I've done raw numbers, yeah.
It's inspiring. As an analyst of rugby league, I've been inspired by that.
You ever heard that before?
No, I haven't.
No. Original ideas.
That's sort of, I think, why... I'm speaking for you here, but why you got us here is sort of like, obviously rugby league experts that think outside the box.
Yeah, absolutely. And
we're solutions-based.
You are solutions-based. So, no, I
give
think
me a problem, I'll give you a solution. It might be out of the box.
Might be a balloon filled with helium over a man's penis. But
Good luck finding holes in it,
Okay, who is your smoky off the bench that's going to have a massive impact?
Payne. Payne's been in and around, he's been in and out of Origin a few times over the last couple of years. He's one of the only good players for Brisbane. He's probably going to relish the opportunity to play in a decent side. He's coming on against some tired boys, and I'm just excited. And I think that Payne rips and tears for his state.
Yeah, I think he's going to fucking kill it too.
Yeah,
I think he's, he has been in a team that has been struggling, so he's going to relish the opportunity for the high quality footy that he suits.
He deserves.
I think Brimo's going to be good. I think Brimo's going to bring a bunch of energy. I think if we can get a bit of momentum, he's going to be fantastic.
How do you reckon Whiten's going to go?
I think he's also going to be good. He's a little bit different. I think he's going to impact the game just with his aggression. He'll come on and the boys and the forwards, they may need a bit of a spark with just aggression, running fucking hard and seeing your mate run hard and then you run hard. Whereas Brimo, I think, could be dangerous, scooting around dummy half and just really quick off the mark. I think Whiten's going to actually play the best game he's played this season. I just think that he's so freed from the pressure of half and everything that's going on down in Canberra. I just think he's going to love it. You know what I mean? He can just get in, rip and tear. And
do you reckon no one gets injured? Do you reckon they just put him on in the back row and just rip?
Absolutely. He's a big boy.
Yeah,
He's 6'1", 95 kilos, I'd say. Or at least 90, let's say near 93, 95. And he's strong for his size. I think he's going to have a fantastic game because, as I said, sometimes if you're in a team that's struggling, look at the Broncos with Payne Haas, obviously the Raiders are struggling, you just need to take that pressure off them and get them into a system that's good, and it just gives them a bit of confidence and lets them just fucking go and play. They're not the main guy. So I think he's going to be great off the bench. Now, on to the Manly versus Cowboys previewing of the game. Actually, has there been any news, Matt?
I haven't seen anything.
Also, New South Wales 13+.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, score prediction.
Yeah. New South Wales 13+. Tommy 2 or more.
Tommy 2 or more?
Yep.
Honestly?
Yeah.
So you think New South Wales 13+? Tommy, 2 or more?
Tommy, 2 or more.
That's the bet.
Up against, well, no, the bet is New South Wales v Queensland.
No. The bet is in even your show.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, on this show right now, New South Wales 13 plus.
Yeah. Sometimes they change.
Shit. Oh, they could change.
Tommy up against Curdy Capes. Is that correct?
I think so.
Yeah. I think he rips Kurt Capewell to shreds with the greatest respect.
Really?
Yep.
I mean, Curdy Cable, he loves to rip and tear.
I know he does. My word, does he? But Tommy, I think, too much to handle.
Too much to handle?
Yep.
Okay. Now, the biggest news of the week so far, Karmichael Hunt returning to rugby league.
That's sick. That's just good. That's a good rugby league yarn.
That is a great rugby league because he has been, AFL, went to Union, did okay, but then they released him. Now Broncos obviously looking for answers.
I think you forget how fucking great he was at rugby league.
He kept Billy Slater out of the fucking Queensland side.
He was so good at rugby league.
Yeah.
How old is he?
I think he's a year older than me, 35.
Wow.
Yeah.
He was like a pretty legit AFL player.
Yeah, he went good. Like, out of Israel and him, he actually picked it up better, I'm pretty sure.
100%.
Yeah.
He scored a goal, played some
Oh, no, he
games.
picked up a fuckload better.
Yeah.
But imagine that, going from rugby league, never played any AFL, and doing pretty well, all things considered, in the
Well, he
AFL.
played first grade AFL, right? Like,
Yeah.
that's enough.
He won, he even won matches for the Gold Coast.
Yeah,
Suns
he
and
hit
that
a buzzer beater, like
Yeah.
after the siren to win it.
He was so good.
But he was clearly the best at rugby league of all those. Didn't he
So
debut when
good.
he was like 17 or some shit?
17, had that mad mo, and he was
Yeah.
the first fullback to just run it straight. I've never seen a
No
fullback.
one really does it even now. Like,
Well,
he just...
so Wayne actually pulled him aside and said, "Mate, you need to stop running straight because if you keep doing it, you're not going to have a long career."
Yeah.
So he had to get told to
Pull
this
it
is
back.
too hectic, which is pretty crazy.
Did he get KO'd? He probably got KO'd a couple of times. There was one other thing he was playing for Australia against New Zealand.
He was playing
just
6, I think, in that game,
and he just fucking gassed it straight back and just got flat.
Might have been like Kidwell or something.
Yeah.
Fuck, man, he got wussed. But he was an incredible player. Like, I think if he stays at the Broncos, like, he could go down as one of the better fullbacks maybe ever.
Yeah.
Because you got to remember, again, he had, I think Billy was 14 for Queensland. Now, I'm not saying Billy wouldn't have eventually won that spot off him. He probably, may have fought it off him. But Kay was like, Carmichael was just, he had everything.
Yeah.
Had the step, the ball running, the ball. He was like a high quality ball player that you didn't really see that often at fullback back then. So awesome to see him
What
come
position's he playing?
back. 6.
6.
He wouldn't have the legs for fullback anymore.
No.
35.
Mate,
Crazy.
what a journey, what a story. And then you had
Yeah.
the issue with the fucking, he got busted with the.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
a couple of those. Get a couple
I
of
want a
run-ins.
movie. I want a book.
Mate,
You want a book?
100%.
Oh, the extracurriculars.
Yeah, well, that's him just taking rugby league to the world, though. So I got
Yeah.
no problem with that.
Yeah.
That's what it's about.
He just doing the extra work, man.
Promotional.
So awesome fun to be back. What do you guys? So the biggest news, basically over the week, has been Matt Dufty not being offered a contract by the Dragons. What do you guys think about that?
I don't think the Dragons, with the greatest respect, are in a position to be turning down players of Dufty's caliber. I don't think, Dufty's he's a good player.
I rate him.
Yeah, but I rate him in the sense of going like, he's not like the best fullback in the game, but when you see what he does to the Broncos, shit as they may be, it's like he's a good player. He's a good player. 5 try assists, scored a try himself. Obviously,
2 tries.
2 tries. Azarko gifted him one. But
Oh, my God. That was probably the worst leave I've ever seen.
It hurt. It hurt.
I felt bad for him. I was like, fuck that.
I feel bad for us.
What,
like
4 or 5 metres
I
from the
scored an
dead
own
ball?
goal in the under-10 soccer grand final. We lost 1-0. That was worse from what Jermaine did. That was worse. But I empathise with him,
You understood like the pressure of a
The
huge
pressure of a
crowd,
big moment.
millions of dollars on the line.
Your career potentially.
And
Well,
your club
it was the
your
last
club
game I ever played.
Was the last game you ever played?
Yeah, I gave it away. Gave it away.
Did you really give it away after
In
that?
tears at
Had to.
halftime. Had to give it away. Went to
Walk us through the play. What happened?
So undefeated all season, mind you. And the ball, I was a defender, not the quickest man around town, but I could
Really?
No.
That's surprising.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
What, you look at him and you think, that man's quick.
Well, you think could have been
honestly
once
did.
upon a time.
Like you look like a former sprinter.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Well, I did run 11s. Anyway, ball bouncing towards the goal, and I've gone to boot it like, just a clearing kick. And so just trying to swing my leg
Sweeper
around at
stuff.
it. Yeah, just trying to swing my leg around and boots it. And look, very uncharacteristically mistimed it and just shinned it, and it hit the top of my shin, getting extra speed and then just spun back and went past our goalkeeper, and I'm laying on the ground watching it go in.
Could the goalie have done better?
It's not. I'm not going to.
Were there ways to offload the blame a little bit?
I mean, look, it shouldn't have gone past the goalkeeper, but often in underage soccer, the best players aren't in goal. You know what I mean? Like the players.
So you're
that
blaming the goalie?
No, I'm not. It was my fault. I take full responsibility, but the goalkeeper, I've never spoken.
Who
to
was in
again.
goals?
I can't even remember the
It
kid's
sounds
name.
like
I've
it
wiped
sounds
him out of
like
my life.
you know, like in the media, what the media will do is they'll just throw a little paragraph in there to give you a bit of doubt, and then that becomes a story.
Yeah.
Sounds like you just did.
Well,
that
I'm giving. If you're going to go and start digging,
Okay. There is room to dig over there.
there is room to dig. There is
And
room
so
to
what?
dig.
You came off at halftime. You fucking started
Well,
crying. Sorry,
I finished the game,
Yeah.
but at halftime I was inconsolable.
What was the conversation like with Dad or the mum or?
It was
anything?
Dad. Dad came up. He's like, "Don't worry, mate." I'm like, "What are you?" I just fucking hit an own goal, mate. Of course I'm worried. Of course I'm worried. We're 1-0 down, and we lost 1-0.
But so what? You didn't pick yourself up off the
I
canvas.
tried to right the wrongs.
Get
but-
back out there and right horrible wrongs
I
by
did. Yeah,
going yourself and scoring.
Well, the pressure got too much for all of us to handle.
Did you spend the entire second half in tears?
No, I was. I mean, probably.
Were you literally like playing and running and crying at the same time?
You know how redheads often do that. Like Corey Horsey, he's playing and he's crying. I think I was
Passionate.
probably playing through tears. There was a lot of passion there, but like, it's hard when you see what you've done. And then
And
after
you
the
never
game,
played again.
No, I didn't play again.
You never played again.
No, that was it. That was the last
my
time. That was the last time.
Jesus, talk about dramatic.
Talk about PTSD.
Yeah, dude. I won't play. Every time I see a soccer ball, I almost start crying. So, that's tough.
Oh, our battle stories of big performances.
Look, we've all been there, Jermaine.
You got
We've all
any-
been
So what
there.
you're saying is you get a Saka.
I get it. I get what he's going through.
So you're relating to his, actual situation right now.
Obviously, that game on the weekend wasn't as big a
Obviously.
stakes as my grand
Obviously.
final in the under-10s barrel,
Obviously.
fucking whatever we were.
Hey, mate, let's be honest. A bye round game
And a
is
barrel
not
under-10
not
soccer
bigger
grand
than
final.
a grand final of any shape or size. It's
No,
just not.
It's not.
So if anything, he should suck it up, and you actually had the harder situation.
Well, I fucking oath I had the hardest situation. I haven't played another game of soccer. I went straight to footy. I was like, fuck that.
Is there
I'm
any
done.
advice you would give Asako during this hard time?
Look, just get your friends and family close and just sort of bunker down. It's going to be a tough couple of weeks. And maybe a therapist, sports psychologist. They weren't around in my time, but
You wouldn't advise him to quit, like you?
It's not a bad option. It's not a bad option, but, consider quitting.
So when you have the conversation with your son, are you going to be like, look, son, sometimes quitting's the best option?
If you fucking score an own goal in a grand final and you lose, quit. Never come back.
What was the conversation like with the other players who were like looking?
Mate, they were trying to. That was probably
Yeah,
the worst
it
bit
was.
when they're like, "No, don't worry. It's the only time we've been to the grand final and we fucking hadn't lost until that game, mate. Don't worry."
Did he quit or was he not allowed back? I don't know. You make up your own mind.
Oh, fuck, how
hell.
good.
Yep. Anyway,
Okay, so do you feel that Dufty should be re-signed or shouldn't be re-signed? Like, what would you do with your Dragons?
If I'm the Dragons, I'd be like, show me who you want to sign in his
Yeah.
instead of him.
who's
You know what I
fucking
mean?
replacing him?
If you want to fuck him off, show me who's fucking replacing him.
Well, I guess the word is Ramsey could be the replacement now. I
with the
don't
greatest
reckon
respect to Ramsey, I don't think he's ready, is he?
he's not ready as a fullback in my opinion. Good winger, a lot of effort, love his effort, and he's going to be a great player. But fullback, there's a lot of pressure. I think that at least an offer for Dufty, at least an offer, and then you can say you offered it.
Mate, there's members saying they're going to turn in their
Yeah, and
membership.
they did a
They're giving their
petition.
memberships back.
Mate, I'll tell you what, Red V members, there's once a year, there's a group turning in the membership.
No, I respect the hell out of that. I think
Yeah.
take your membership back, fucking pack it in.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a stressful life being a Red V member. You know what I mean? And I'm not surprised that every 6 or so months they're like, "Is it worth it? Is it fucking worth being a member of this club? Like, life's too short to play for the Broncos. Life's too short to fucking be a member of the Dragons. Surely, when they're trying to get rid of Dufty, and you're like, oh no, we don't have a replacement. We're just fucking. Nah. We didn't get Nico Hines, so we're thinking fuck Dufty off as well.
They're not, the two aren't related, but we
No.
just thought, fuck it.
Now, speaking of not getting Nico Hines, you didn't put that in the talking points.
Let's talk about. We'll run our own segment, Tom.
Yeah,
for
okay.
a second. Broncos fucking up again.
Yeah.
with Denan Kemp, hosted by Hello Sport. Great fucking segment.
I reckon-
Best time of the year.
Mate, I think the segment's got legs.
Fucking oath it's got legs. Happens every week. All right, what are you hearing? So Nico Hines, who's fucking so elite, you lowball him to the tune of 300K. He goes, fuck you, I'm going to the Sharks for 600. Just talk me through the process.
How's that work?
Listen, look, I think we thought we had currency, in glory that we may not have had.
That's the biggest problem. You motherfuckers don't realise where you sit now.
And I think we went to the Glory Currency Bank and we tried to withdraw. And Heinz said, mate, this is counterfeit.
Sorry, the account's been closed.
Yeah.
The check bounced.
Because we offered him,
2006.
we actually offered him 300K normal money and then 300K Broncos Glory Bitcoin.
Broncos Bucks.
Yes. And I think that the issue was, and look, it clearly got, communication wasn't there. The lines were crossed. And he may not have seen the value in the Glory Bitcoins that we offered. And
Is
I
there
think that's
any
where
value currently in those?
I think there's a lot of value.
Right, but is there a dollar value that you could assign to them
Look,
currently?
beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
So it's a beauty thing.
Well, I mean, that's the way I look at the Broncos. It is a beauty thing.
Yeah, okay.
Broncos, beauty, both beats. It all goes together smoothly.
Yep.
Not like that sentence, though. Look, I just think that we offered him Bitcoin that hasn't reached its value yet. But,
Right.
look at all the people getting into Bitcoin. They were called crazy 10 years ago. Now they're called geniuses. Now, Nico
Broncos
Hines,
a bit like the negative interest rate, aren't you? You know what I mean? Like they're paying people to buy them.
Yeah.
Nah, see, this is what's happening right now. Like the same people that called Bitcoin people crazy a few years ago.
Right. So Bronco trying to get into cryptocurrency.
Broncos are in cryptocurrency.
Do you think that that's probably not really a great place to be focusing their attention when they're fucking coming third last?
But
second last.
Look how much crypto's worth now, though. Who's laughing now?
I mean, that's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
We're going to be on yachts, and everyone's going to be like, "Man, I wish you had got in with the Broncos when they were growing. Now I can't
But
because
you're
we
not
don't want
growing.
anyone."
You're not growing.
No, but we are.
But you're not.
No, but you're the analyst. You're the old analyst 10 years ago that was saying crypto's a fucking rip-off. It's a joke. Rah, rah. You're that guy right now.
Right, okay.
And in 10 years' time, what we're going to do is we're going to show little memes and little videos of you saying Broncos fucking suck whilst we win the premiership. That's what is happening.
So
right now.
is that what you've been doing since 2006?
Yes.
Focused on your little fucking crypto world.
Absolutely.
Have you just got into crypto though? Because if you got in early when it was actually kicking off, then maybe you would be killing it.
No. Look, this is a special kind of crypto.
Right.
This is going to change the
So
game.
did you maybe just get in just before Elon fucking talks
Broncos,
shit about Bitcoin
Broncos
and
buy in
crash?
the peak and sell in the trough.
Yeah.
That's the Broncos.
Yeah, that's the Broncos.
You know what's crazy is like we're not even doing that because we're not actually
You're not buying anyone.
we haven't bought anyone.
Well, you got Reynolds.
That is a
If
great
you
buy.
had got Reynolds and Hines,
Oh, massive. Look,
And
if,
kept Reece Walsh.
if the reports,
Now we're talking.
now we're talking Sam Walker maybe.
yeah. Look,
We never need Sam.
No, you don't actually.
Look, as I said, right now everyone's laughing at the Bitcoin. We're Bitcoin of 10 years ago. In 10 years' time,
Right.
we're going to be the ones laughing at you in our boats, mansions, everything like
So
that.
we've
winning
got to wait
multiple
10
premierships.
years though. For
Maybe,
the Broncos
but that's
to-
sometimes good things come to those who wait.
Well,
and
you've
look,
already
Nico
waited, fucking-
didn't want to buy into the Bitcoin that we offered him. Now that was maybe an oversight on our. Maybe we could have bumped it up just a little bit.
I think you're more like Kodak, to be honest.
Like,
Blockbuster?
Yeah.
Like, look at us, we're fucking killing it. That's in 2006. And then someone's like, bro, you should probably get into digital cameras. No, man, film's going to be fucking there forever. And now you're bankrupt.
the Kodak Broncos.
And there's no way back.
No, you're
The
fucked.
Kodak Broncos is
look.
way more accurate than Bitcoin. I'm sitting here going, what the fuck are you talking about? Bitcoin's killing it, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what I'm
You're
saying.
not Bitcoin.
We are Bitcoin.
You're Kodak.
We are
Yeah.
Bitcoin of rugby league. That's
No,
what I'm
you're
saying.
not, mate.
Yes,
So
we
you're
are.
not.
Yes,
The
we
The
are.
Bitcoin of rugby league is the
same-
Storm or the Roosters
No,
killing
because they're
it.
already valuable. They're the gold. They're the normal currency. You guys are saying the same thing as what they said about Bitcoin. We are the Bitcoin of rugby league. Everyone's
I feel
laughing
like
at
he's
us
trying
now.
to sell me film. You know what I mean? You know, like,
Everyone's laughing at us now.
And you walked in trying to buy a digital camera.
he's going,
Realised
"Oh, I
that
got this really
it's
great
like we
fucking-"
don't actually sell digital cameras, but look at this old film thing I've got.
Look, it'll all come together. Look,
selling
did
black and white
maybe
TVs.
was it an oversight?
Can I see this VCR player? Nah, bro, I'm
Nah,
good.
I'm cool,
I'll
thank
get that
you.
Apple TV.
Yeah.
That's
Look,
all right.
Thank
Did
you
we
so
try to
much.
sell some VCRs to Nico Hines?
I think he tried to
Potentially?
wrote in VCRs into his contract. We get 300 grand and a
You
new
do look a
VCR.
little bit like a VCR salesman.
door to door.
Dick Smith VCR salesman. Door to
Door
door.
to door. Gonna shoot a VCR, Nico. What?
Look,
And 100% less than what
wasn't
you
our
get.
best negotiation. Let's just put it that way. We made mistakes. We're going to regroup. We're going to learn.
Yep.
Look, if we really did offer him 300K, that is the most shocking thing in the history of the game.
Yeah.
Like Nico Hines, 300K is what you offer a Reece Walsh or a Sam Walker before they play first grade. So you keep them because they're if they do kick off, their fucking value skyrockets. Nico Hines is absolutely 500 to 600k minimum, but I actually think for the Broncos, he's a 700k player because we need a fullback.
Yeah.
We have no full-time fullbacks in our roster. We have Selwyn Cobbo, who's an 18-year-old rookie that potentially could be there, but he played on the wing on the weekend. I thought he was fantastic.
Yeah.
But right now, we have no experience, no full-time fullbacks in our roster. So I cannot understand why we aren't paying a little bit of overs for a guy like Nico, who can play fullback, but also 6 with Reynolds.
Yeah. Can I ask you a question about Nico? Is there a player whose value has gone up like quicker in a short
No
amount
way.
of time? Like
It's quicker
since-
than Pappenhuisen.
Yeah. Like since he started, like since Pappy went out and he's just been playing, it's like, oh fuck, he's ripping other teams apart.
Crazy. I've never
That's
seen anything
literally
like
it, right?
Yeah, he's a bench player.
Pat
and
was
then now
out,
he's ripping
he's
people
come in.
apart.
He was essentially like a minimum wage, really good first grader that can come in. He's gone from that to literally one of the best fullbacks in the comp right now, form-wise.
Yeah.
Form-wise.
That
It's
ball we were
incredible.
talking about on Monday on the podcast.
Champagne.
Fuck me dead.
Talk about nut on chest.
Dude, you want to time a climax or something? That ball.
Fucking oath you do.
Mate, just the flat leggy, like, just floats.
Mate.
Wasn't flat, it floats. Just hits him on the fucking chest. Gorgeous stuff.
One of the most beautiful.
That's better than a spiral, in my opinion.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, the float.
Yeah.
They're harder to catch sometimes because they fucking move. You're like,
But I like the look
Yeah,
of them.
yeah, they look
the
beautiful.
visual.
Oh, the visual was fucking gorgeous. Great. Like, just a beautiful nut on chest from Nico Hines.
Yeah, it was really nice.
Worth every
He's
penny.
got a real career in that nut on chest.
Oh, my
Yeah.
God. Talk about bursting onto the scene whilst bursting nut on chest. You know what I mean?
Oh, he bursted onto the scene.
Absolutely.
Literally and
Burst.
figuratively.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Bursting onto bloke's chest. He has done that.
Well, Benji was doing it early in the season.
Yeah.
Nico said, hold my sack.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Let me coat, baby.
I tell you what, he's a beautiful man too. Very marketable. Very marketable.
Very marketable.
He's
Great
ledger.
story, Central Coast.
Hot as shit. Trent let him go. Thanks, Trent.
Yeah.
Look,
Thanks,
so
Trent.
yeah, how could you
Thanks,
put
Trent.
shit on me? You literally let him go.
No,
No,
we didn't.
Trent did.
Trent did. Trent, not
Trent
a manly
did.
man.
That's
Trent
manly
did.
man.
That's
No,
why-
Trent
no,
did.
Trent did.
Okay,
Trent did.
hang on a sec.
No,
Hang on
Trent
a sec.
did.
But Manly
Trent
let
did.
him go.
No,
we
no,
just
Trent did.
lowballed him.
Trent let him go.
You're not listening. You're not
Okay.
listening.
Okay.
Trent did.
Trent, not a
Okay.
manly man. Manly only has manly coaches. And then Trent, apparition, like, what the fuck? And he fucked us.
Manly employs manly man.
Okay.
He wasn't a manly man. He went off script. He sold a great junior. And now, I'm not going to say he's reaping his rewards in a
this
karma
is
sense.
karma.
Like, it's
This
not
is
like
karma.
this is an anti-Trent. Good
No.
on you, Trent. Have a crack. All the
the
best.
best.
Yep.
But karma is karma.
Yeah.
Karma
Okay.
is karma.
So yes, we lowballed him. If that is true, and I think it's absolutely crazy, we need to pay overs for players. So
Do you think, sorry to cut you off, I just need to get this off my chest. Surely when these things happen and continue to happen at the Broncos, the decision makers should be forced to answer some questions.
yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know.
Fucking
Like the members, for example, of which you've got you used to have the most of. I don't know if you do anymore.
I think
but
we
you
still
certainly
do.
did.
I think they're losing the most now.
Sit down and go, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, honestly, I don't know. I don't know. It's
Reece Walsh, Sam Walker.
yeah, it's crazy.
Right.
I've been saying it for quite a while now that we've been making decisions above the team that haven't been helping the team.
Anthony
But I don't know. That's what I mean. What's
I said Anthony said.
Okay.
We were going through all the fuck ups, that's all.
Okay.
This is fucking up with Denan Kemp, whatever you called it.
It is.
Great
It's our segment. Great
Yeah.
segment.
Great segment,
We'll be
guys.
back next week with another fuck up.
Okay, on to the preview
Hang
of the.
on. Bit of news. Now that Katoni Staggs has been cleared, he's been suspended until round 16 and fined $20,000 for an incident on Easter.
Well, what's the incident?
His behaviour at a pub over the Easter long weekend. Remember, it came out when he was looking at.
What did he do, though?
I don't know what he did.
It just said alcohol-related incident.
20,000.
Use these bad boys, you'd think.
So he.
That's Dan's, baby.
So how long is he suspended for?
So it's round 14 this week. So 2 more weeks,
So you got two round suspension.
2 round suspension, and a $20,000 fine.
20 grand.
Wow, that really hurts.
Wow.
That
Could have
really
given some of
hurts.
that to Nico.
Seriously. He's fucking pretty close. We're not pretty close, but you're getting closer.
You're getting closer.
Getting the kitty together.
Yeah, exactly. Start pulling players. Get the players to kick in some money.
Put the fucking hat out, mate.
Mate, what's done is done. We need to move
Yeah.
forward.
No,
Stop living in the
yeah,
past.
Sure enough.
Yep.
Manly versus Cowboys preview.
13 plus.
Manly trio all named, so they may play. Now, Hill and Lukey dropped.
The man as fast as light.
Now, he didn't meet the club stands past 10 days. That's what's come from Todd Payton. So I'm assuming it was, maybe he missed a session or he
Late
slept
to training
in.
and shit.
Something along those lines. But he's been fucking fantastic, the man.
He's been great. That chase down he did of Reece Walsh.
He appeared out of nowhere.
He's fucking fast as hell. Reece Walsh is so quick.
Yep.
And yeah, he just came out of nowhere.
Sick.
It was kind of like, even though Reece scored, it was like you came out of that looking fantastic.
Ragdolled and then bounces up and scores. I fucking love that.
Obviously, when it comes to Manly, look, our affiliations are probably well documented, but it's sort of hard to tip until you know how the boy, Manly will win, but I mean, what boys are named to play.
I'd be surprised if he did.
Crazy to play Tom.
It'd be crazy to play Tom, but I was thinking of going to the game, and so the selfish me would love to see him play.
If Des fucking plays him, I will be ropeable.
Yeah, we'll be out in the front of the HQ.
There's no fucking way he does. There's no way he does. Oh, he brings him off early all the time.
Yeah,
There's no way.
And it's a winnable game against the Cowboys. I mean, in saying that, at the start of the year without
Who gives
Tom.
a fuck? You don't win comps in June.
In the Origin period.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would be fucking shocked if he played.
What kind of protest will you...
I'll get him on the blow.
So how will you protest the club if Tom does play?
It'll be peaceful initially.
Okay.
Where I think we'll go to Brookie and we'll just sort of stage a sort of silent protest. We'll just sit in outside of Brookie. Then, fuck, man. I mean, all bets are off the table if they don't listen, if they don't come out and see us. Now, obviously, Scott Penn, not a huge fan of us after our live
I'll
performance.
pack the duffel bag if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Okay, would you consider taking back the hammy that he has to stop him from playing?
We will never do any. It's not Tommy's fault. Tommy's a friend.
No, as in just for the weekend, so he can't play. He can't play with just one hamstring.
Denan, you know as well as we do that surgery can't just be done like that, mate. We've given him the hammy, and also
I know
it's
what you're saying.
I'm just giving you ideas.
Yeah, I think I remind them about what I've done for the club.
I think that's far.
I think I remind them that I've given up fucking my own hamstring and paid for the medical costs myself. I think I remind them of that fact.
Yep.
But I'm not gonna sit here and come up with hypotheticals just to please you about what I would or would not do if they play him on the weekend. I mean, I'd be fucking furious about it. If it continued to happen, I'd escalate. I mean, that's all I can say.
Okay.
Is that an answer?
What do you? It's a great answer. Great. Apologies for asking you to put hypotheticals out there. Manly versus Cowboys.
Yep.
Well, obviously it's a Manly 13+ situation.
It's at Brookie.
It's at Brookie. Brookie adds 30 points to any game in favour of Manly.
I think the Cowboys, and no offense, Cowboys fans, they're coming off a bit of a lull. You hosted the Origin. It went poorly. You got people in tents. No one can get into the ground.
Yeah.
They run out of piss. That's fucking, you know what I mean?
Dearden hasn't killed it this year.
And then you lose. You host a losing game. And I just think that you come down to Brookie defeated.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Cowboys going to get the win.
Got to sit on Military Road, kind of a fucking road.
I think Cowboys are looking good. A lot of discipline in the side now. They got. I think JT might be back, or is Taumalolo back? Taumalolo's back.
Brilliant news.
You don't want him coming through the.
Do you actually legitimately tip them?
Yeah, Cowboys get the win. Taumalolo through the middle, just barnstorming.
Can't help but feel you're starting to bet with spite.
No,
every time Manly's mentioned, it's just spite,
mate. You know I wouldn't do that.
Fucking spite.
Okay, Sharks v Panthers. Fafita is back for the Sharks. Steve Crichton says that they're not expecting any of the Origin players to back, although Appy is named. Now, who have you got for this game? Especially considering that, let's say no Origin players are back. They did lose to the Tigers, and the Sharks look fucking red hot the other night.
I mean, it is, again, it's hard to, if they don't, surely some of those
I would
Origin players
expect
come
some
back.
of them to play.
Like your Liam Wright. What's his name? Martin. Why do I say Liam Wright every time? Liam Martin. But again, maybe like...
Look, it's really hard. Like, if they go into this weekend with, 7 players out, is it 7?
Yeah, roughly. Yeah.
Roughly. Well, let's say 6.
Yeah.
Not playing. Then you look at it and you go, fuck. Maybe the Sharks are a shout. But if Cleary recovers pretty well, doesn't get through a shitload of work defensively, who knows? Like, if he wakes up feeling fresh, I think he'll play.
I mean, there is a fair, it's a reasonable argument if you're a Panthers fan of going, well, why the fuck would you? Are we 4 points ahead?
Yeah, I wouldn't be playing the
What's
boys.
the point? Just
yeah.
go fuck it.
So okay, so you just
Let's assume
anticipate
none of
they're
them
not
are
playing.
playing.
Yeah.
I'm still going to say that the Panthers win because they hopefully have learned something off the back of last week. Appy comes back because he didn't play any rugby league, and
Appy is going to be a massive in for them.
He is a massive in. I just think that the Sharks looked fucking phenomenal last week. I think the Panthers are a different side without those players. I'm actually going Sharks for the victory. I picked Tigers last week as well, so I just think
you
the
did
Panthers.
pick Tigers. We basically talked you into that.
I just think that the Panthers.
No credit. No credit. Fuck no. You're a dog.
I just think that the Sharks look fucking really good last week. And a good win like that, they get confident. Sean Johnson played well. Matty Moylan played really well. They're all playing for contracts pretty much. So they're desperate as fuck.
Yeah.
I think the Sharks get the win.
I think Panthers win.
Panthers win? You
Yep.
going?
Yeah,
Panthers?
I think Panthers
Titans, Roosters.
I mean, it's hard. You would assume. So, the Titans seem like a side that will rush players back because they're desperate and because, I don't know, it's a very Gold Coast thing to do. Just put them all back in, even if they're injured.
If Tino and Fafita don't play,
They're fucked.
they're fucked.
Yeah.
They're so
They're
fucked.
fucked. And Angus Crichton back for the Roosters. I think the Roosters win this one, and I think they win it well.
I think
I think there's a lot of points scored.
yeah, a big. Oh, absolutely. Oh, well, Roosters' defense is actually usually pretty good. I'm going Roosters 13 plus. So I just think that Tafita and Tino, they'll probably be a bit banged up from Origin, you'd think, and the Roosters, they'll be looking for a big win. I think the Titans, they really missed a chance to kickstart their season again by losing the Storm when they could have won it. Look, I think if the Titans can get close to the Roosters and it's a low point scoring game or whatever, I think that's a win for the Titans like as a season. But I just think the Roosters are going to... With Crichton adds so much to that team. You know? He's such a fucking good player.
And he'll be foaming at the fucking mouth having missed
Absolutely.
Origin.
Yeah. Oh, fucking hell. Because he's the best back row on the comp right now.
Yeah.
Easily, mate.
So he will have probably the game of his life. I think Suwali's playing as well. He was really fucking good in the
I've
weekend.
got Suwali as an any time. Is Tupanua playing? Because I also had him just in sort of preemptiveness, but I wasn't sure he was suspended or injured or something.
Look, I just think if the Titans don't get Fafita and Tino back, I think it could be a 13-pluser. But I do think that the Titans, they'll fight. But I'm seeing Roosters at 1 to 12.
The origin period is a fucking nightmare if you're a punter. You just don't know what the fuck to do.
Yeah, it's actually a
It's
completely
a
different
fucking
season.
nightmare to tip, but Roosters
Completely
13
different
plus.
season.
Roosters 13 plus?
Yeah.
Oh, I think Roosters win well, yeah.
Okay, South versus the Knights. South players named to backups. Saifidi named to backup also. I mean, it was last week with the Knights, very surprising that performance on Old Boys Day. I know they're missing people.
Well, they were missing Ben Cummins, so it was always going to be tough. It was difficult.
Ben wasn't playing.
Ben wasn't playing, and that's always going to be difficult. Hope to see him back soon.
I mean, just take your licks, boys, honestly. Blame it around. It's like, come on.
oh no, I wasn't blaming.
It was evened up at the end. He evened it up.
All he's saying is that Ben Cummins
They missed him.
called a 9-0 penalty count throughout the game.
He evened it up at the end, sent a player off,
9-1,
and he gave him that penalty at the end.
Ben Trbojevic, poor bastard, he's injured now because of that.
he got fucking decapitated.
Basically lost his melon.
Yeah, we're having to reattach his head to his neck.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you have a spare head to give him?
No, he still uses that head. we just got to reattach it.
But would you be willing to give him your head like the hamstring for Tommy?
Oh, if he gave me his battered up and bruised one, I'd wear it for a bit.
Yeah, that'd be a bit of a
So there'd be a
pride
trade.
thing. Yeah,
Did you
you'd have to-
trade Tommy's hamstring? Like, do you actually have Tommy's hamstring?
Yeah, I do.
in you? Okay.
It's
See,
still known.
I didn't
not-
know that.
Yeah, well, I mean, you do need a hamstring. You can't just go around with none.
Did he sign it before he gave it to you?
Well, it's his. I don't think he needed to.
Yeah.
No, but like to say I've got his signed hammy is better than like.
Well, it's much longer than Eddie's leg, so it's actually just like he can feel it.
Goes to
loose.
his ankle.
Yeah, it dangles down and actually causes him some problems around the heel area. So he knows. He knows it's Tommy's.
What's
He's
it
always
like having
reminded.
Tommy's hamstring connected to you?
It's not bad. I mean, again, it does pretty well in Div 2 Oztag. It does pretty fucking well in Div 2 Oztag.
Yeah,
You know.
you can do the splits now. You couldn't do that before.
I can. Look, I feel good with it. I know that there's issues in it though. You know what I mean? I run at 80% now. I can't run it. I can't run 100. I've lost a yard of pace, and some people would probably be like, "Well, that's because you're fucking 30 now." Incorrect.
No, it's not.
I've lost a yard of pace because I've got Tommy's injured old banged up hammy, but that's fine.
Yep.
So can confirm there is a spare head to be used if Ben Trbojevic needs another
If
head.
he needs one, but I think that Ben's probably going to do. I think we can still reattach it, but obviously we're prepared to do anything for the club.
Well, Ben's he's on the fringe of the best 17 players.
Yeah.
So I think
you don't want to use a good head yet. You save the head until Ben's 17 weeks.
So you're not
away.
willing to commit to the spare head yet?
I think we consider all options, but right now, what if Olakawatu gets his head taken off and we're like, fuck, I gave my head to Ben.
We got 2 heads. Like, you haven't given anything
if
yet.
it's 2027 and we're the fucking week out from a grand final and Ben's ripping and tearing and he needs a new head, then fucking oath, you're going to have it.
Send it in.
But I'm not going to give him one now when he's fucking...
You don't give a head.
He's
on
lucky to
potential.
be in the top 30, no offence, but you know what I mean.
Okay, I just thought that you would be committed, but clearly
Well, you're
not.
not using logic, though, are you? Top 5 podcast in the country. Expected to give my head to a fucking...
Okay, so South's first night. I'm going South.
Do you reckon Latrell, Cook, Murray play?
Probably, yeah. Cook, I think so. Yeah, I think they all play. They're all pretty seasoned now. In that they need them. They're in a position where they can't really be dropping that many games, South.
Yeah.
I can see them backing up. They're not playing. Really?
Because they're going to get fucking pounded. That makes
probably
sense.
why Wayne-
Oh my God, Wayne. He's read the tea leaves.
Wayne's like, fuck that
Oh my
shit,
God.
dude. They're going to get humped
Gaga's
into the
gonna be
ground.
putting a
He
body
knows
bag.
that the Queenslanders are going to put their body on the line, unlike the New South Wales
Who's
boys.
Gagai marking?
Latrell. Good luck.
Oh my God.
Origin Gagai. Are you serious? Origin Gagai.
Bruh, Latrell coming back, who's got to right wrongs. Fuck that.
They're
That is
returning
scary.
Trell.
That is scary. But Origin, you got to admit, Origin Gagai is a fucking beast.
Wayne-
No one's going to lie.
No, he is, but Wayne's got no faith in the Queensland side.
But I think that, Gagai's probably a little bit long on the tooth now.
Whoa. Okay.
With the greatest respect, obviously.
He
course.
literally just scored a hat trick and gave 3 tries.
Probably a bit long in the tooth for Origin, though, don't you think?
That's the peak before the trough, I think.
If Wayne's resting you and he's not resting the New South Wales boys, what the fuck does that say?
South first Knights, who are you going?
South.
South's 13
By
plus.
plenty.
Knights are going to
13
get pumped.
plus?
Yeah.
Dude, the Knights suck.
They got a lot of people out. They got a lot of people
I
out.
know, but that's what I mean, right?
What was it, 40-3 on the weekend?
Yeah. The Eels?
3 field goals they kick.
Yeah, I think so. It just was pointless.
They get you 4 and against.
Yeah.
Raiders v the Broncos. Papali'i returns from suspension. Karmichael named to play. Obvious, captain obvious, friggin' massive game for both clubs.
Yes.
Because both clubs will be saying, we can win this.
Look, it's a shit show at the Raiders.
I don't know. I've got no idea.
I like the Karmichael Hunt omen. It's just good, positive vibes. Obviously, a crazy man would tip the Broncos, but I do like the Karmichael Hunt omen. So
Great omen.
it
Raiders
just
are dog
depends.
shit
If
as well.
Haas and Oates come back, Coates come back, then I'm a little bit on the Broncos omen. Raiders shit show. Curtis Scott dropped. Ricky.
Mate, I saw...
I'm going Broncos.
Yeah.
There's too many omens.
Too many omens?
Yep.
I saw an article on Fox Sports, and they're obviously pro Ricky. One of the big
Are they?
headlines, was, is Ricky too loyal?
Yeah.
I
I saw
was
that.
like, come on, man.
To whom?
Is Ricky too loyal?
I was like, you're taking the piss now.
Is Ricky too much of a fucking good bloke?
Is he just too good of a coach?
I think
You know
that
what I
might
mean?
be it.
Too loyal by dropping his most loyal player in Papali.
But I
Yeah.
mean, what's crazy is like,
Type in
it's so obvious. You know what I mean? You couldn't be more obvious. Like, this too loyal. Like, it's not even that's not even a question. Like, Ricky obviously is the man to turn them around. He deserves to rebuild that club again, if that is the case they need to do. So I'm fully on board with the Ricky is the man to turn them around. But like, when you see articles like that, you're like, too loyal. Like, come on. So yeah, I just think Raiders at the moment, Papali'i returning is obviously a massive back in, but Broncos will be hoping to bounce back, and I think Karmichael will bring a lot of energy to them, a lot of leadership.
Yeah.
So I'm going Broncos 15 plus.
Look, I'm only going Broncos because of Karmichael Hunt. If you wanted to know what I was really thinking in my heart of hearts, it's probably that the Broncos will lose and lose well, which is a positive. They'll lose.
I don't know.
But I'm tipping.
I really don't know. The Raiders have been going like a busted ass.
Is Albert Kelly playing?
Yes, with Carmichael. But like,
Where's Tice? Where's Tice Gamble?
I think he might have got. Oh, I don't know. Cause
Well,
Milford,
did they drop Tice?
Yeah,
What?
Gamble's out.
Gamble's out.
Injured or dropped? Do we know?
Find out.
Fuck that! You guys
No one
love
can keep
switching
up.
around halves.
No
dude.
one can keep up.
Oh, like I am like.
So good.
Do you reckon he just Kevy's just picking names out of hats now? He's
Yeah.
going, fuck, who we got this week? Right.
Raffle.
Tough times.
It's
We're
a
building
raffle.
towards next
Yeah,
year.
yeah.
We're building towards next year.
Yeah,
Bitcoin,
yeah.
boys. Bitcoin.
Kodak.
You
Raiders,
decide.
like the thing though, like Ricky may be able to get the boys revved up for this. Like fuck, like we can win this game. We should win this game. It sucks, obviously. Scott, he's been, stood down from the fight, so that's going to obviously cause some dramas internally in the sense of like you just don't need that extra controversy.
We were talking about how in the past Canberra's always let the bad boys go,
Yeah.
and they end up going on to play for fucking the Kangaroos and win Dally-Ams and just rip and tear. Should they double down and just keep Curtis?
Sign him for life.
Just go, you got a life member now.
Oh fuck,
10-year deal, you captain.
mate, he is too loyal, so I can
You
see
know what
that
I mean?
happening. According to people that know him, Fox
Yeah.
Sports,
Fox-
he's too
yeah,
loyal.
Too
So-
loyal. Sign Curtis up for a 10-year deal. Pay him overs as well. Pay him 1.2.
1-3.
1-3.
I mean, you can afford it.
Tell me Curtis Scott's not worth 1-3
I just like with a guy like Curtis, like I feel sorry for him because like
because he plays in Canberra.
not because he plays a camera, but like you just wish like he could just stay out of not clearly. I'm only assuming that someone has like said something to him. I can't see him just going out and punching someone. Regardless, you can't be fighting as a footy player now. I don't know what happened, but he does have a lot of potential, Curtis, and he obviously has been through shit recently. That doesn't excuse his action now. Like obviously you cannot fight people as a footy player.
Maybe the bloke he hit had spaces in.
Hey,
Well, you
that would
can't
explain
rule
a
that
lot.
out. If that guy had space earrings in, then I think Curtis is well within his rights to break his nose.
But I hope Curtis is getting the help he needs. I hope he's
Yep.
getting the support he needs off the field at the moment because it would be so tough. After everything he went through last year, again, not condoning the actions, you don't fight people and there should
No.
be a punishment for that. But I hope he's all good.
He can't get out of his own way a little bit.
Yeah, like it's this weird situation where you need that aggression as a footy player. You love that as a footy player, but you cannot be fighting people regardless of what they say or do to you.
Ricky's been bashing his players, though, so maybe you're getting the wrong messages from the top.
Maybe he sent the wrong message. He took it out on some bloke.
Took it out on some guy in a
But all
poker.
seriousness, I hope Curtis is getting all the help because he'd be devastated right now
For
after
sure.
everything that he went through last year, and then to potentially lose his career after this. So I hope he's all good. But I am going the Broncos 15+.
I think Broncos win.
Broncos, Carmichael,
I don't know
Hunt, home
how
and bet.
or by how much. I just
No.
think they win.
Yeah.
Okay, Warriors Storm. Fanua Blake, named reserved, is on track to play for the first time since round 4. Huge omen. Storm players to back up. I just think the Storm red hot right now. They're
Too
gonna
hot.
win.
Too hot to handle.
Too hot, too thick.
Yeah. I like Adam Fanua-Blake, or at least I like the memory of Adam Fanua-Blake when he played for Manly. It's hard to look at him now. But good to see him back. 'Cause he's a fucking weapon. The Storm have been doing it easily without any of their Origin players. So it's like, name your Origin players or don't. They're still going to beat the fuck out of everyone, it would seem. So,
I can't see how the Warriors win this game.
no.
In what world do they win this game?
They do like to beat the Storm. There's something about
Do
the
they? Is
Warriors.
that a
yeah,
thing?
Yeah, they do tendency to have big matches.
Is that
against the Storm.
Central Coast this game?
I'm not sure.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Storm are too. They're just too
Storm.
red hot.
It's
Storm
They're gonna have
win.
Munster
It's not a
back.
DMC, dude. You can't.
Storm
you
win
can't
and win
expect
well.
going
Well,
to
I'm just thinking,
know.
Okay, Eels versus Tigers. Eels bounce. I mean, I'm going Storm for this. Eels versus Tigers. Eels bouncing. Tigers bouncing. They had 2 wins in a row. Eels look fucking
Unheard
fantastic.
of.
Unheard of.
Yeah.
Eels looking fantastic last week. Who you going?
So the stats suggest Eels 13+. So if you're, and the Tigers being a dirty merger club, as we all know, that you never trust one, right? So what was the least plausible outcome last week? It was Tigers 13+ against the fucking Panthers leading the comp. So now, if the stats suggest Eels 13+, I go Tigers 1-12.
Do you reckon that? I don't know if that applies. It can't apply every week if they've won like one game because how many games would they go underdog into?
I've been fucked too many times by a dirty merger club to abandon everything that I believe in.
But the Eels aren't thoroughbreds like the Panthers are.
Tigers 1-12. They're on a hot streak of sorts. Eels without Reid Marnie.
All right, fair enough.
I'm going
Straight
Tigers.
from the hip.
Going Tigers.
I'm going Tigers.
Eels win well.
Yeah, I'm going Eels. They look fucking incredible on the weekend. Spoke about it a bit in the review, but they look really, really good bouncing back. Bulldogs v the Dragons.
Dragons 13 plus.
Dragons 13 plus?
Yep.
Nah. So the DMC rule
Because
again.
Bulldogs has beaten the Dragons, but I'm pretty sure they beat the Dragons last time.
Look, no self-respecting individual will ever tip the Bulldogs in this situation. But if you think about what Eddie just did then, what did you do? You went Dragons 13 plus. No, it's going to be Dragons 1 to 12 because they'll still have a shit game. Everyone's expecting them to pump them, but they won't. It'll just be a 1 to 12 because the DMCs can't be trusted.
I'm going to go Dragons. I think they get the job done. I feel sorry for the Doggies boys. They rip in every week. They
do.
honestly really fucking
They have
do.
a good old crack.
But I'm going to go the Dragons, unfortunately. Make sure not to go to your night next.
Don't come to the live
tomorrow.
show.
But
can
yeah,
if
they
you
got
You
a
can
live
come
show.
downstairs. We'll come downstairs.
The
and
boys
say
will come
g'day.
down and say hi. I might be there as well, so come down for a beer. Grab a case of Bloke in a bar for the game tomorrow night. You'll see this tonight. Bloke.shop for hats. Follow Hello Sport, top 5 sport podcasts in the country.
Correct.
Punters and Dribblers on Facebook. Subscribe to them on the
YouTube.
podcast app. Even subscribe to us on YouTube as well. I never say that. And do all that kind of stuff. Follow us on Insta, Facey. But as usual, I'll go and fuck myself. Thank you.